Hello and welcome to the Crowley ISD PLC Curriculum Preview for 6th grade Mathematics. In this video, we will discuss proper use of the PLC agenda leading questions, identify curriculum hotspots, address new math tics, and provide real-time instructional strategies that will include the effective use of tiered exit tickets, as well as utilizing the data collected for in-class interventions. Units covered in the third 6 weeks are Unit 6, Equivalent Expressions and One Variable Equations, and Unit 7, One Variable Inequalities. Please pause the video to review the Unit 6 Local Assessment Blueprint. Take time to note the instructional days and the assessment posting and administration dates. Beginning the third 6 weeks, assessments will be posted 72 hours before the testing date. Now take a moment to review the Unit 7 Local Assessment Blueprint. For today's purpose, materials teachers will need are the Unit 6 and 7 IFDs, the Content Builder, the PLC for Math PLC document, and the PLC agenda located on the CTL, along with green, yellow, and blue highlighters. At this time, we will be using the organizing instruction using the TEKS Standard Types document or Content Builder. For the purpose of today's PLC curriculum preview, we will be using the Unit 6 IFD, which covers equivalent expressions and one variable equations. At this time, please read the TEKS listed on pages 10 through 34 of the Unit 6 IFD. As you review the TEKS, highlight in yellow the supporting standards and highlight the readiness standards in green. All remaining standards are process standards and will be highlighted in blue. Please take a moment to complete this task. Now use the highlighted IFD as a key to place each standard in the corresponding color-coded graphic organizer. Before we identify the curriculum hotspot TEK for the third 6 weeks, let's discuss the 3 leading questions on the PLC agenda page. What do we want our students to learn? How will we know if they have learned it? And what will we do if they don't? Let's begin with leading question 1. What do we want our students to learn? As part of the PLC process, the what, we will discuss our hotspot. For the third 6 weeks, we will target TEK 6.10a. We have selected 6.10a because this is a new standard that was previously a 7th grade standard. Take a moment to read over the TEK. When discussing what we want students to learn, teachers will need to use their Unit 6 IFD, specifically paying close attention to the TEK breakdown in the specificity section. This is the what teachers will need to teach and what students must learn in order to master the TEK. Please take time now to read over the specificity in the IFD and determine what context this standard will be taught. Please keep in mind that during this unit, inequalities will not be taught. Now look at the specificity provided on the Unit 7 IFD for the same standard. Please notice that in Unit 7, the emphasis is on inequalities rather than equations as in Unit 6. This next visual from the 6th grade field guide lists the multiple conditions in which this concept is presented. Please pause now to review the instructional implications for this standard that is also found in the field guide. For a deeper clarification, teachers should utilize the Enhanced TEKS Clarification document found on the TEKS resource system. This document gives sample questions as well as goes even deeper than the specificity on the IFD. Leading question 2 is, how will we know when students have learned it? This question includes the in-class formative assessments you create in order to assess student learning immediately, therefore being able to reteach when needed. This may include the use of whiteboards, clickers or polling apps using the iPad, student writing or journaling, and exit tickets, which will be demonstrated later in the video, or other quick assessment tools. The next slides will provide sample questions found in the Enhanced Clarification document. Please pause as needed to discuss the rigor of these sample items and how these items can be used as formative assessments throughout the lessons. This sample problem from the Enhanced Clarification document shows the concrete pictorial, and algebraic solutions for one variable, one-step equations. This model shows one variable, one-step inequalities through concrete, pictorial, and algebraic models. Here's an example of a solution to one variable, one-step equations from a problem situation. The next sample item shows solutions to one variable, one-step inequalities from a problem situation. The final set of sample items demonstrates a one variable, one-step equations and inequalities from geometric concepts. The last leading question is, what will we do when students don't learn? This question can sometimes be interpreted as what teachers will do outside of the class time, but this leading question actually addresses what the teacher should do during class time to reteach immediately when they see a disconnect when completing the formative assessments discussed in question 2. An example intervention would be grouping students together and letting those who have mastered the TEK complete the next lesson, or complete an enrichment activity, while teachers provide support to students who need additional assistance in a small group setting. We will now use the PLC for the Math PLC page as a tool to create a detailed lesson for 6.10a. By using all the components of this document, classroom instruction will move to a higher level of understanding, as well as offer opportunities for students to transfer information. Transfer of learning is the ability to apply knowledge learned in one context to new context. Transferring learning means the learner recognizes common features among concepts, skills, or principles, links the information to memory. This is when students say, "Oh, I know when to use that." And the learner sees the value of utilizing what was learned in one situation in another. This is when students can show their learning not only when a sample looks like what the teacher gave, but also when it does not. Before planning, let's review our end product, the formative assessments found in the IFD. While reviewing this performance assessment from Unit 6, please notice that this activity combines 7 process standards and 6 readiness and supporting standards. The combining of all these standards allows for the rigor of the activity to be increased and provides opportunities for students to transfer knowledge. Please pause the video at this time to allow for discussion. Now let's review the performance assessment from Unit 7. Please notice that this activity combines 7 process standards and 5 readiness standards and supporting standards. Please pause the video at this time to allow for discussion. Because we have covered how to complete the PLC for the Math PLC in previous 6 weeks' videos, please pause the video and complete this task with your team, with an emphasis placed on designing lessons that will lead to mastery of the performance assessment, as well as including previous sample items for daily student formative assessments. The next slides will provide real-time examples demonstrating the use of exit tickets and differentiate interventions based on the data the teacher collects. Although some of you already use exit tickets in your classroom, this algebra teacher has an innovative way to administer tiered exit tickets. This is just a small portion of the video. Please see the full version on theteachingchannel.com.
Please make sure you hand in your calculator at the end. Calculator and exit card.
I'm Marie Barchi. I've never not done an exit card. It's something I just do every day. It just comes natural with it's part of every lesson.
Okay, our aim today is how do we solve and graph 1 and 2 step linear inequalities. As I walk around whilst other students are presenting their work, I really get a feel for who's struggling. Okay, this you should always cross multiply your variable first. You know, when you walk by their paper and the problem's not done, it's because they clearly couldn't do it. And that's kind of how I identify at the end of the period who's getting which of the 2 exit cards. Okay, guys, you're gonna work on the exit card now. There's 2 questions. You have more than enough time. On your way out, where does it go? In the box. Very nice. Need help.
I give a grade level exit card and I give an above grade level exit card.
Let's review our steps while I hand out the exit card. What steps do we take to solve and graph 1 and 2 step linear inequalities?
I always make sure before I hand out the exit card that I summarize my lesson.
What is step number 2, which only happens sometimes, Ashley?
You flip the sign.
The fact that we reviewed that you need to flip your inequality sign when you multiply or divide by a negative number reinforced that right before they worked on the exit card. So maybe not all of them got that right, but most of them are like, oh my God, we just went over that, I have to flip it. So I think that it's important to review your aim.
Please make sure you hand in your exit card.
The kids are constantly asking me, can we have our exit card back from the day before? We want to see how we did on our exit card.
Here's an example of how to use the data from the exit tickets to create in-class interventions as demonstrated in a Crowley ISD classroom.
Hello, my name is Becky Barton and I teach the 4th grade at Jackie Cardin Elementary. Kids play. 4, 3, 2. Somebody remind me of the rules, particularly for the back of the line, Julius? Today, I will be demonstrating how to differentiate instruction for students based on the previous day's exit ticket data. Before we get to your problem solving today, we are going to work in your workstations to practice the division, especially the division we were having a little trouble with yesterday. I begin class by separating the students into groups based on the skill level I assessed through their exit tickets. So, I've got a group, Samad, Brooklyn, Embry, and Isaac. You're going to be with me, and we're going to make sure that we've got your 2-digit divided by 1-digit, all solid. For 3-digit divided by 1-digit, my coaches, Martin, Emery, and Peyton. You guys have shown me that over and over you're getting this. And then yesterday when we did the 4-digit divided by 1-digit, Elena, Jalen, and Haley are going to be one group. Alana, Joel, and Julius are going to be another. I can then work individually with the group that needs the most assistance and scaffold the learning for the other 2 groups who have mastered the TEAG and are ready to move on.
Low number in your head and count up and down, you got it. You try this one, 46 divided by 4, and you got 36 with remaining. Okay, I want you each to try that one now, and then see if you can move to the 3-digit divided by 1-digit.
By the end of the class, I am able to target students who need more extensive tutorials.
I hope that you have enjoyed watching the instructional strategies in action. I appreciate you participating in the PLC curriculum preview. When you plan on utilizing the tiered exit tickets, please invite us in as we would love to see classroom implementation. If you have suggestions for future curriculum previews, please submit ideas to haley.veron@crowley.k12.tx.us. Also, I would like to hear from you if you have an instructional strategy that you would like to showcase in upcoming videos. Finally, be sure to submit a copy of the PLC for the Math PLC document, the PLC agenda, and the content builder to the appropriate campus designee. Thank you, and as always, I appreciate your time.